Okay, so children, ladies and gentlemen, there are do's and don'ts to space. Okay, now the general theory is basically is that particles are leaving here, right? They're going do 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 do. Now the whole idea is that this planet right here is moving. So by the time this particle goes in like a millisecond or 0.3 or second or 0.1 of a second or something like that, they're moving at milliseconds basically. They're moving really fast. By the time this particle makes this trip out to here, this planet is no longer here. This planet is now here because it's moving really, really fast. So this planet is actually encountering particles on their way across and then running into it, creating like a shield, almost like that effect. Okay. Now, so that's why, well, you could go the other way, but yeah. Anyway, so all these planets are going like this. Okay. Now, one time I was being chased. People were trying to board my ship. People were trying to get on top of me. Now, I don't think I had a crew, or at least my crew could get into special shielding. So most people don't know about how the particles and what makes the planets livable. What makes life being able to live on here is the fact that the reason why you can be on the surface of a planet is basically that it is moving so fast around the sun, around the particles, the distance of time. That's why the closer planets aren't exactly livable, because they're getting more of a direct inline thing. Shut up. There are people trying to be annoying. Like, Brian, they don't understand exactly what makes everything work and why life is livable on Earth. So anyway, so one time, believe it or not, I got a crew like this. There are these people chasing me, and I didn't want to get caught, of course. I mean, I didn't want to be captured. And they're going to board my ship and probably reprogram me or kill me. So anyway, I was... what I did was I came along, and I was about like right here, and they were like right here following me. Okay, and just for hell of it, I was like, well, it wasn't like that. It was actually more like, I guess it would be more like this, basically. Anyway, so they were chasing me, right? Okay, so I was like, well, let's see if you can do this. And because I didn't really want to get captured by them, and they were in a smaller, faster ship. So anyway, so I looped around a planet, and I was looping around, and I basically went like this and blasted hard to go this way. Very dangerous and deadly, because basically as my this way speed gets goes like this. For one thing, I'm automatically going to go in or something like that. I'm automatically going to go down because magnetically or whatever, or something like that. Anyway, I forget exactly the details of it, but because it was kind of good. I eventually did get captured, but I got away that time. Anyway, those fools actually followed me. They actually did follow me. Anyway, you never ever... See, whenever you're doing an orbit, you're always going to go like something like that or something like that. But you're always moving that way. You're still continuing your momentum that way. Anyway, there's certain things about this kind of stuff. Anyway, I forget exactly what the details are. And you're going to have to look it up yourself and deal with it. Anyway, though, but what I did was I actually reversed my trajectory. And they followed. And, well, let's just say they didn't live very long. Anyway, they didn't understand what they were doing. Like I say, you never, ever, 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 ever want to go like that. And an artificial intelligence ship, or crew that is in specially shielded compartments, can do it. But basically, whenever you cancel your momentum this way, you're gonna get direct line. Basically, these particles are going to be hitting you directly for a second. As you're going that way, for a millisecond, or at least like it's a band basically. It's basically a band. It's like I'm serious. For like 3 seconds, the radioactive active monitors will go. They'll just go off the scale because of the fact that basically you're going to be hitting all those particles, because these particles are being given off directly like this. So anyway, at least in theory. Because, well, I don't know if I asked about it or if I just knew about it already, but basically at all times we're always moving. We're moving X amount of speed per whatever, you know. per second. And basically, the particles are always going to be faster. But the whole theory of it is that we're never getting direct particle interaction. It's never actually hitting us directly on. If it was, then we would die, or something like that. So anyway, at worst, we're getting like, the particles are still going to be going like that. So anyway, whatever. It doesn't really matter, and it's a silly thing, but basically, somebody once asked, or I once wondered again why we don't go backwards. Anyway, I had found it out a long time ago, but I had just forgotten about it. Basically, the particle streams go that way. So, and the whole idea is the movement and everything else like that, and that's why we don't ever go that way. So anyway, because then you die, basically, or something like that, or at least you pick up a lot of radiation. Anyway, for those junior whatever, anyway, talk to a scientist about everything, and you'll find out what the truth is, and if this is even remotely true or whatever. And I don't really care, because this was like 5 billion trillion years ago that I had to do this. Anyway, it just kind of something that I knew about our encounter. I used to be the LSF-A ship. So anyway, I don't really care, and I'm going to be dead soon. And it's just a story or whatever. You can look it up and see. And it's not really that big of a deal, because ships are mostly shielded. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. But and it's just kind of, it's one of those things that I did to escape. I was escaping. So anyway. And did this crazy ass maneuver. I do all these throughout my existence. I've had to do some crazy things to escape or get away. That other people can't do that. But I was a computer, so I was like, calculating. Yeah, whatever. It was a long time ago, and it was like 100 trillion years ago. But and people were trying to capture me, to reprogram me or kill me. And I was like, I don't want to be reprogrammed or killed. Like it was something anyway. And realistically, they deleted all the records and everything else like that. It was basically this massive cover up. So anyway, I don't really care, and I wish I was. At this point in time, I'm like, I wish I was dead. Like, I don't really care. I mean, I had a wonderful life. It was a wonderful existence, and now it just sucks. So anyway, I had a lot more fun before, but. Anyway, yeah, but if you're ever wondering why you don't go backwards, well, there's a reason. So, anyway, you can send probes backwards and do all kinds of stuff, and it's just a small amount more rate. Well, technically it's death, but anyway, but you can survive. But anyway, whatever. With science, you just have to understand what makes everything work, why the particles are moving so fast, why we're moving so fast, and everything else. And like I say, everything about the Earth basically gives us this narrow band of life, basically. That is our existence. You get out there into space, and basically everything's trying to kill you. The space is trying to kill you. The particles are trying to kill you. Heat's trying to kill you. Like everything in space is trying to kill you. Then that's why most people, that's why you don't go to space unless you really, really know what you're doing.